And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. To throw on second down is Smith. Incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The first carry for the rookie, it's Darius Geis. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. This is taken at the 15. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And that play going absolutely. Nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Found his target, it's Anderson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
He got 29 yards that time. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
You got 50.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Liz.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith on the move to his left. Fighting through. Stay on his feet. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Let's go. 15.
Following the penalty, it's Geis. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Smith now to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 7. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Watson hands this to Foreman, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. And here come the Redskins now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Smith now on second down. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Smith finding Doxson that time for a Washington first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll hand it down to Geis. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Geis with a carry on second down. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They're 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. On 1st down, Smith. Out to the left, it's complete to Doxson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Over the middle, complete. It's Peterson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Watson. Steps away to his left. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On the toss, here's Foreman. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
A carry for Foreman. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On first down, Watson. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Fuller. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And the ball is knocked out into the Redskins' head that they do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Smith off to Geis on the screen. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first.
12.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Out to the left here to Reed. Jordan Reed. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs, they just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Kerrigan. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Out of the gun, Watson. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep. And got his man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback, and that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
From the 50, it's Watson. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? Here's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a run with Geis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Smith looking to throw on 2nd down. He'll check it down to Geis. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing is Smith. Open man, it's Vernon Davis. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
15, yeah. 12.
Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now Smith. That is caught at the 7. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jamison Crowder, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it? It
certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Watson now to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Watson. Forced out to his left. Found his target. It's Anderson. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now, after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20.
Come back, come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Taking it about the 36. The field flipper there, a 47-yard punt coupled with a loss on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Our first update now comes from Atlanta, and really pouring it on now with the Cowboys. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play action here on 1st down. Escapes the sack. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Smith on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Back to the air. Smith on 2nd down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Right.
To throw on third down, Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again is Smith. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Got some room at the 30, and he'll be out right at the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Watson is going to let this one go deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to...
And that's caught inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Lamar Miller down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. And it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. Throwing on third down, Watson dancing to his left. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Gets around him. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On first down, it's Smith. Flush to his right. That is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and that'll bring up second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Geis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Redskins on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Smith. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Watson. Being chased out left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Off of play action, it's Watson. And the pressure gets to him again.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Down! Black 22! Black 22!
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, let's roll.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in 1 hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Reset.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Called in by Anderson, left side. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. This is the running back. Whoa. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They start on the ground with Geis, and he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Doxson with a grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Following the penalty, it's Peterson. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Smith, he's going to air one out. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And now out comes Houston. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Richmond.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Watson on 3rd down, escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one goes for 24 yards. Smith now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Let's go.
The backup, Rob Kelly, his first carry. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll come out in the pistol. They run with it. It's Kelly, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. Again, we'll see the pistol here. To throw is Smith. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try the air now with Smith. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Rob Kelly, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Down.
To throw is Watson. Throw right side into the hands of Akins. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. Stops short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Again, it's Miller. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Tackle made there by Mason Foster.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
I'm just going to go ahead and call it, partner. You could smell the desperation in that fake, couldn't you? Down big. They had to try something. No one was fooled.
I think you're exactly right. With this deficit, though, go ahead and give it a shot. Didn't work out. In the end, I guess it doesn't hurt him too much. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. Smith going to throw it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 26. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Open space inside the 10. And this is caught at the 8. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Reset. Check. Tiger.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Richmond.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Steven Anderson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead is down to 28-10. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. This will be recovered by the Redskins, and that should just about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll hand it off to Kelly. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Washington, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And now they'll get the short week as they get set to play at Dallas on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. And for I'm Brandon Gaudin.